Welcome to Bachelor week 3 or 4. Not sure anymore. I think it's week 4. Okay, this episode, embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? Like, cringe. Okay, so we start out good and then it goes downhill sharply. We get our introduction. Everyone's like, yay, Jamie's gone. Bye, Jamie. Bye. And 14 guys left, which, like, we were moving very quickly, which I'm glad about because, you know, Christmas is coming up. I got other stuff to do, but also running to the finish line. No gimmicks, no added men, just Michelle looking for love in these places, in this place. Rick is looking to grow his relationship with Michelle, and, you know, it's a good time. We have 2 one-on-ones and 1 group date this week. Olu and, like, previously Malik were really, like, attempting to call out the guys, like, who we should and should not be paying attention to. That was their use in the plot. Olu doesn't trust Martin because Martin and Jamie seem to have gotten close while they were here. Martin gets the first one-on-one, and this thing is just like, let's get back on track. They go on a speed racer, BMW sponsored racetrack, and they drive around real quick. Everything's great until they're doing the, like, cool off period afterwards, and he, unprompted really, brings up the fact that, like, Jamie might not have been that bad a guy. Sir, are you trying to stay on the show, or are you trying to cat for your bro? Don't Dr. Joe this. Don't Dr. Joe this. Bad luck, bro. I just would like to quickly run through my list of Jamie nicknames, and then we will end this date because Martin ended up with the date rose because he pivoted so hard when she was like, hey, I don't like you kind of questioning my decision making, and he was just like, yeah, I'm glad you called me out. I didn't have a really good dad. So, like, I just, like, never, like, I always express my feelings, bottle up my feelings. What? I don't know. I zoned out. It was, I took notes, but I was just like, you can't whip me around that quickly. Whatever. Martin, sexy mouse-mouthed date. We have Martin wearing a 2015 to 2016 Instagram model starter pack for men. We have our racially ambiguous Mycene doll. And finally, my piece de resistance, the hip-hop Cameron doll. They get into the hot tub, and it was so stupid. He pivots to essentially being like, girl, my bad, which, you know what, I guess. And he gets the date rose. So one of the date roses is going to Martin. We go to the group date, and if you're not on the group date, you're on the one-on-one. So group date is Will, Chris S, Rodney, Brandon, Joe, Nate, Casey, Chris G, Olu, Clayton, Romeo, and Nate. And this is embarrassing. I felt so much shame and uncomfortableness. I just cringed the entire time. So Michelle sets up this sleepover date where the guys are gonna, you know, play around and, you know, essentially in the pregame section chat with her, but also, you know, when you're not chatting with her, it's, you know, you can have a little fun. Everyone is so busy stuffing teddy bears and playing Twister and, like, being bros and punching each other in the chest. It from the jump, Michelle's talking heads are just like, yeah, I just, I want to have fun with the guys, but they're like having fun with one another, and she like had to call Clayton over and he didn't come, or he like came and then like went off. It was just so embarrassing. On behalf of these men, I actually was thinking at the top of this episode how we didn't have the amount of bromance as like Claire's season or Katie's season did. Tayshia Claire, Katie. And turns out no, we did. We just, it wasn't the type where they also were balancing it out with being obsessed with Michelle. And I think that shows the differences between how people want to be loved on. And some people like to insert themselves into their lovers, and some people want to be chased. And Michelle, her whole thing, she has felt unwanted in the romance department her entire life. And now she wants to be wooed and romanced, and these guys are being trash about it. Step it up. The Bella twins come in and they do a teddy bear wrestling ring where they are beating the mess out of each other with teddy bears. And the team that wins gets extra time with Michelle. So most of the guys don't know about this until they go to the after party from the group date with Michelle, in which Michelle tells them that she felt that they did a poor job of, giving her the attention she wants, and how she wants them to do better in the future. Most of the guys are like visibly upset about this, but more importantly than ever, Olu is crying because he feels that he's not only failed his relationship with Michelle, but he's also failed his relationship with his sisters back home, and how they also had that unwanted, unloved feeling in a romantic way, and how he's dropped the ball and he never wants to make her feel like that ever again. So he cries, she cries, we're all crying. He gets the group date rose. Going back, when group date comes in, with the letter for the group date, Nate essentially says that like, you know what, I'm on the group date, I'm gonna make the most time out of it as possible to be with Michelle. I know that when my time comes, it's coming and we're gonna be great together. I think a reasonable statement. So when all of this happens on the sleepover date, Michelle pulls him to the side and says she was particularly disappointed that he didn't take time to come talk to her. And it's like, oh no, their relationship is kind of dipping, a little dippy dip. Well, we get to the cocktail party, and Chris S. has annoyingly stepped up as the voice of the men. He is not speaking for the men, and he's also swearing, and some of the Southern gentlemen are not here for that. He's got to get his feelings. He's got to say how he feels about Michelle in the toast before she can even say anything. And then he pulls her to the side first, even though Brandon asked to pull her. Chris S. has decided that what Nate said was too cocky, and that Nate obviously meant it in a way where it was, well, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna get my one-on-one, in a much more cockier way than I think he intended and or actually said. That's not what that man said. So Chris S. is taking this as an opportunity to slander a front runner, Nate, a very clear front runner. Chris S. looks like and behaves like a 1980s yuppie. Chris goes and talks to Michelle, telling Michelle that Nate obviously was being cocky and not respectful of her time, and she's hurt, and tells Nate. Nate goes back to him and is like, bro, what the fuck? And he's just like, I don't know, it's so what he said. It's like, you're a snake. Actual honest to God snake. Chris even says when Nate confronts him that he didn't mean to single you out. He said, Nate, with his whole chest, with his whole yuppie 1980s cocaine fixation chest. He literally names himself the White Knight, which we all know. Bad luck. Bad luck to be a bachelor white knight. It's a bad look. So he's essentially he's reclaimed the seat of villain. Nate walks away, calling Chris as a dweeb. A dweeb. Multiple times, and you could tell he wanted to say something way harsher. I am aware of the media. I am appreciating the media attention. The media training the guys have. So Joe rolls in fixer mode, and with blankets and comfort snacks that are nondescript. They look kind of like Reese's, but also maybe they're peanut M&Ms. Unclear. Not the important part. But also, why did you block them out, Bachelor, huh? The men do not like Chris S anymore. They feel that he is bad for the group, and they are preying on his demise. So we go into the rose ceremony. Straightforward rose ceremony. We get Olu, who already has Rose, Martin, and Rick. I never talked about Rick's date. I don't even think... Okay, I did write something down about Rick's date. Rick caught his dad cheating. Rick also speaks, when speaking to Michelle specifically, in this low, gravelly voice. Can't even mimic. It's so low and gravelly. My gal pal. Couldn't even understand what he was saying when she watched. I had to be like, his whole thing is he caught his dad cheating. And that, like, a lot of these men, I don't know what happened to half the men with happy households. If she sent them home, if she needs a project, she's got to fix some of these boys. But, like, a lot of the guys that are left are all the problem, the fixers, the ones with daddy issues, mommy issues, and all substances in between. But that's all that happened in Rick's date. Like, not enough for me to worry about it. So the rose ceremony with the three guys who already have roses is Olu, Martin, and Rick. Brandon, Leroy, Joe, Clayton, Nate, Rick, Rodney, Casey, and Chris S. Really cutting it down. We're at 11 people left, which is so quick. We're really moving through the season. I'm really glad about that. Next week we are going to Minneapolis, Michelle's hometown. I'm sure that's not where the most romantic thing that is ever going to happen to you is going to happen, so. Which is not the most romantic place. A city in recent memory known for its civil unrest. Not really. But you know. As is God. Chris S has to be on his way out. Like, as we move into the predictions section, Chris S has to be on his way out. And honestly, Martin shouldn't have said what he said during those dates, and he's gotta go too. Sorry. My top 5 is Joe, Nate, Brandon, Rodney, Rick. I've stopped doing top 10s because, you know, that would just be naming the men in order. As I was doing this this list, I realized that why don't I think Olu is going to make it far? I think he's very attractive. So, I don't know. something to unpack. Honestly, my top two, Joe and Nate, are pretty locked in, and I feel like there's a lot of previews with Rodney and some are paradisey looking, so it feels like he goes pretty far, but like, I don't know, it just seems like she really likes Brandon, and Rick is my wild card, because what is Rick even still doing here? My father thinks he looks like Aaron Rodgers, and he's not wrong. He's so sallow-eyed. It's not that people with dark rings around their eyes don't deserve love, but yeah. So I don't know. I really like all the guys that are left. I want to use Lee. I want to use Olu's face as a chair. Oh my god, and Leroy's gorgeous skin. I feel like I don't think it's Olu because there's just not a lot of camera time. I don't need to dissect this here. Follow me, whatever. Subscribe here because in the relative 12 days after after an episode goes live, I will have a recap for you, and we can have a discussion in the comments. Yeah. I'll see you next week. Bye, y'all. Oh.